Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech for your daily dose of your latest gaming news and myself, Amata. Today is the 12th of November and this time I'm here to give you yet more news from the PS4 as according to a recent article on Engadget, there will be no voice commands for third-party apps at launch and the PlayStation 4's camera will only recognise a small number of voice commands during the launch period. Now, on day one, according to Engadget, PS4 users will not be able to turn on the console or pause videos using their voice as is possible with the Xbox One and the Kinect. However, the PS4 console can be turned off and games can be opened using voice commands at launch. So basically, there is some voice command functionality at launch, but some functions are not there on day one and will probably be added later on, maybe even including that third-party app support. The console will also be using facial recognition for logging in, very similar to the Xbox One again. Now, PlayStation reps have also previously said that voice and gesture functionality will be expanded over time, so basically this is just for the launch. We can see more features being added as we move forward. Now, unlike the Kinect, as we all know well by now, the camera on the PS4 is to be sold separately from the core PS4 hardware package, and it is of course available with the console as a part of premium hardware bundles. So if you do want to get your hands on these features, of course you have to buy it separately, but considering that the PlayStation camera will probably have fairly limited functionality until a post-launch patch, I would say that if you are considering picking up the camera, you may want to hold off unless of course you've already purchased one of the bundles including it, as we'll be seeing the features and uses for the device being expanded over time, and of course Sony are going to be giving you reasons to use the device as we move forward into the next generation. Of course, at the launch period it's all going to be about the console itself, and then as we move forward we'll be focusing a little bit more on the camera with features, games and functionality coming out for the device to make it more useful for you, and to also of course have some uses for gaming and all that good stuff. So for those of you who have already purchased it, perhaps as a bundle or what have you, it's going to have some fairly limited uses during the launch period. However, we don't know when they're going to be patching the device or adding new features. I would imagine that they'll be turning on the console or pausing videos fairly soon, as that's fairly basic functionality. But I don't think it's too big of a deal because, well, a controller exists, and of course if you want to do those things and they aren't built into the camera yet, you can of course just use your DualShock controller. So there you have it, a nice little tidbit of news from the PS4. I would imagine that the trickle of news from both the Xbox One and PS4 is not going to stop anytime soon. I would imagine that we're going to be seeing facts and figures coming out to well past the launch, which is of course coming up really, really fast. For those of you in America, it is of course just basically 2 weeks away, roughly, about a week and a half, technically speaking. For us in the UK, it's about 2.5 weeks away. So the next generation is rapidly coming up, and I'm sure we'd all love to see the consoles finally come out so we can really get into the meat of the next generation. Anyway, that is me done for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.